Hey,
Hey y'all.
welcome
Hey, hey,
back.
hey. Yes, yay, we're back on
Melanin Me
Valentine's Day.
podcast, special Valentine's Day episode. It is February 14th. It has been one Valentine's to remember already. So,
For the both of us. Literally. So funny.
Lover's Day.
Literally,
Um,
birthday is coming up. So
Girl,
super
I can't
excited
believe
about
it.
that.
It's about to be
Pisces
Pisces
season.
season.
Girl,
Oh my gosh. Shout out to all my Pisces out there. If you don't know,
girl.
I have a Pisces channel and I have a website, piscesrus.com.
Go
I
ahead
just
and plug that
relaunched
in,
it.
girl.
Yes,
Yes.
plug
Yes, yes.
in because you're a Pisces too, so we can talk about Pisces shit. But
Absolutely. Absolutely. We can talk about Pisces all day, every day.
yeah,
Um, I saw a meme the other day that also said, uh, in 2 weeks, Pisces, and we're about to start Piscing. Oh God, here come these Pisces, start Piscing. I was like, yup, that's gonna be a photo that I put in the
Girl,
clip
it is literally like
carousel.
a superpower that charges us. Like around my birthday, I start to feel like, okay, motivated, opportunities,
Motivated.
things are
Hmm.
popping, things are coming. Like every year, no matter
Hmm.
what I'm doing, it's just like I always get a little supercharged from God, around that time. Like, okay,
Yep.
we'll pick
Yep.
me up. We'll pick me up
Yep.
around Pisces season.
Yep.
Um,
Exactly.
so yeah, I'm happy we're
So
about to enter into it.
it's good. It's good. It's good times. It's a good energy. I feel like we are in sync and aligned in that way. To kick off this episode, we have like a few topics out the gate that I think we should share and we should talk about. First, fresh off the press, we got Jay-Z and Diddy. It has just been released that the sexual assault case has been dropped by the accuser. And
Mm-mm.
we shocked? Are we surprised? Because from what I'm seeing, and this is just literally dropped as we're recording. In the original lawsuit, the accuser claimed she was raped when she was just 13 years old by Jay-Z and Diddy while a woman watched. She claimed the incident happened in 2000 at a VMA after party, but is apparently backtracking now after some holes started poking in through her story. Jay-Z is speaking out about the news, saying the lawsuit caused trauma to his family. And ultimately, the civil suit is now being withheld without merit and was never going to go anywhere. So I guess the accuser has dropped the case, and here we are. My thoughts on it is I had a feeling it was going to be dropped just because we haven't really heard much more esteem on this since it originally dropped. I felt like when it
Yeah.
originally dropped, we heard like it was a big thing for about a week, 2 weeks, and then for like 2 months or a month and a half, like we just didn't hear anything. So I was like, in light of Trump, in light of all these other events that have happened with plane crashes and just all the things, like it just seemed like I'm really not shocked that it's dropped, honestly. What about you?
I'm not shocked. I mean, when they said Jay-Z, I knew we were just different, dealing with a different caliber of like, because Jay-Z right now, for the most part, is still like squeaky clean. And everyone who has tried to come against Jay-Z in some fashion or try to take him down in some way, they fall off or something terrible happens to them.
Oh my God.
So I'm
Oh
not
my
gonna
God.
say that Jay-Z is responsible, but I do remember like even when Kanye started to go against Jay-Z, Jay-Z remained quiet, cool, calm, and collected. And then next thing we know, Kanye looks crazy out here and nobody, you know what I mean? Like he just started to go left field. So like I knew once
Wow.
Jay-Z was intertwined in that one, it was going to definitely just be brushed under the rug. Plus he
Hmm.
has a lot more money and I think he can make a lot more things pop and shake on the back
Yep.
end if he don't
Yep.
want to go through with this bullshit.
Yeah.
So but I'm not saying it is bullshit. I don't know if the claims are real or true or whatever, but I do think like most things, it could probably be resolved with money. And he probably did exactly what maybe Diddy did with Cassie, but he did it hush hush, probably made him sign NDAs or whatever. So I don't know what happened. I don't know. And all I know is I feel like my spidey senses are telling me the same thing's probably gonna happen with Diddy, even
Hmm.
after him being in jail for all this time.
Wow.
Like
Yeah.
he
Hmm.
gonna walk, you know what I mean? Maybe probation or whatever. I just don't think it's gonna be like as game like career ending like people think it's gonna be. I don't think so.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
We'll see.
From Yeah, we'll see. More to come on that. We'll be following, obviously, Diddy, as that. I think his case is up in May for trial if they don't push it back further. But we'll see. Um, the Super Bowl, did you watch it?
Oh yeah. I mean, I
Did.
don't really watch football, but I did tune into the halftime show.
Yeah. So I watched it because from Kansas City, was born in Kansas City, so naturally go Chiefs. But I did feel some type of way about the Eagles winning, meaning like I wanted them to win, but then I thought it would have been cool for the Chiefs to win again because if they won again, they would have broken a record for winning 3 years in a row the Super Bowl, which would be like
Mm.
huge. But either way, I'm happy that the Eagles won.
See, I
Love
didn't
Jalen.
know that backstory. When I was there at the house watching the game, Chris and my boyfriend and his uncle was telling me about the backstory about I guess how Eagles had beat the Chiefs had beat the Eagles 2 times or something.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't
I
know,
don't
but
know.
they lost. Whatever team that just won, who won the Super Bowl?
Eagles won.
The Eagles. So yeah. They whooped their ass, and
They
apparently
did.
it's because they got, the Chiefs got cocky because this would have been their third win, and they had previously beat the Eagles. So I was like, what happens is, I don't even know football, but I analyzed it anyway. I was like, what happens is when people think they already got you beat, they underestimate you every time.
Mhm, mhm,
And that's why
mhm,
usually the underdog wins because you already got this person feeling like they're the shit. Like, oh, we already beat you anyway. We coming back for the ring. And little do you know, they've been practicing y'all every move, practicing double time, probably more than y'all.
mhm.
Beat you. I mean,
They're
tore them
so
up. I was like, are
yeah,
they
no,
gonna even score?
the game never even caught flight. It just
No.
started bad. But there was some banter around Trump supporting Mahomes, which is the quarterback for the Chiefs. And so for a lot of people, they
Mm.
felt like this was personal, like, with the hate of Trump and all of the things, they were like, no, hell no, like
Hmm.
you're going to whoop their ass. So you
Now,
have like,
girl, explain to me, do you know the beef going on with the boyfriend, Taylor Swift, and the black girl, and
so yes,
something
I
going on
love
there?
Kayla Nicole. I
Okay.
I love her as just like an influencer. She's into fitness, she's into sports. She's naturally a sports journalist, meaning like she went to school, she graduated Pepperdine.
Hmm.
She, I believe, went to school for sports journalism. So her and Travis Kelce were together years ago, for I think 5 or 6 years, something like that. And, they broke up and a couple years later, I don't know, I can't remember the amount of time they broke up from the time he now entered into a relationship with Taylor Swift. But girl, at the time Taylor Swift came out that she's with Travis Kelce and they made it public, the Swifties just harped on this poor girl, Kayla Nicole. And she had been broken up with him, or they've been broken up for years at the time. And so it was really weird
That's why I'm
that
like,
the
was he cheating
media.
on her with him? Because why are they
No, it was
acting
just the
like,
media. You know how
okay.
media is. It's just like, and here's the thing, like you have Travis Kelce, he's super fine, super, super fine. He obviously appealed to a lot of people, including the more ethnic group as well, because he had that
Mm.
type of just swag about himself when he was with Kayla Nicole.
Girl,
Now that
they
he's
dragging
with
him
Taylor
now.
Swift, now that he's with Taylor Swift, he looks like, you know, a
They said he
sheriff.
showed up to the game looking
He looks
like super fly or something. Something
Girl, he
crazy.
looks crazy. To the point where you just don't even recognize. I mean, he's still very
Oh my
handsome naturally, but
gosh.
I'm just saying, like, his whole swag is just so like you're like, is these are two different people.
They were like, oh, the black girlfriend effect has faded. I
And now the
was
white girl
like,
effect has taken over. So, and it is clear
the
as day.
comments were cracking me up.
But again, so to answer your question on like what the drama, there really was no drama. It's the media
Mm,
that pit them against each other.
yeah.
And like, okay, this black girl with the body, the bam bam pow, beautiful, cute, he was so swagalicious when he was with her. Now he's like morphed into more of a, you know, just back to his roots. And with Taylor, she's kind of like, a ruler. She doesn't really have all of that. So it was
Yeah.
like the media doing all of the comparisons more so than there actually being beef.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, but no, I did watch the halftime show. I'll go first because I don't know a whole lot about the
Kendrick.
of the Kendrick situation. I enjoyed the halftime show, but I also was not like, oh my God, this was like the best thing ever. Because again, there
Mm-mm.
was a lot of symbolism in there. It was just really deep. And I'm not
It
into
was
football.
very deep.
It was very deep. So if you aren't naturally a person who's like reading into like the symbol, like all the things, then you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
miss so much. And so for a lot of people, they missed a lot. They were like, okay, this is boring, it's a snooze fest. But then majority of America absolutely loved the performance and they understood a lot of the symbolism and the different like
Mm-hmm.
Serena Williams crip walking and like they understood all the things, Samuel L. Jackson, the Uncle Sam, you know,
Yeah. I've
in
seen
that
mixed
respect,
reviews
I'm like,
though.
okay,
Like
maybe it was. I need to go back and watch it with
I
me
saw a lot of
reading.
mixed reviews. Yeah.
But I mean, apparently it was the number one most watched Super Bowl for based on that performance.
I
Um,
mean, I'll talk about those stats all the time because it's like a lot of things have to be in consideration when you say that. Because they were like, oh, it's more, he got more views than Michael Jackson. I'm like, okay, when Michael Jackson played the Super Bowl 25 years ago and we were all watching NBC, now that it's streamed on our phone. And I mean, come on, it's a
yeah,
different day and age. The population has grown by, I don't know, 2 million people. Like, you
yeah,
can't compare. Like,
for
like I
sure.
get it. It's every year it's gonna be more watched
More,
because there's more ways to watch it and there's more
right.
streaming channels and but I'm not taking anything away from Kendrick. Of course, I am a Drake fan. My whole thing about it is I like some of Kendrick's music and he has some really big hits from back in the day. And I'm just not sure why he didn't play them. Like to me, I feel like two things can be true at once, and you can make a political statement and also give a lit ass halftime show. Like you can
Right,
do both. And there was room, you had enough time to kind of do both. And I've seen
right.
even Kendrick fans be like, I can't believe he didn't play like We Gonna Be All Right, like, hype anthem music that he has. Like he had a lot of stuff that would have fit for a football game that he just didn't play. And most people who play the Super Bowl, we're not paying you. Well, I don't know if they get paid, but we don't want to see you play the Super Bowl to play your new album. Like we want to see
Right.
you perform the hits that people know you to have.
I
And I
know.
think I understand that he blew up off of the Drake beef or whatever, but to me personally, I just feel like he gave too much attention to it. Like even if I got the halftime placement because of the Drake beef, I'm gonna let y'all know I should have got it anyway because I got hits. It's not all
Mm,
about this Drake beef. But I felt like he just emphasize it so much because that's what they wanted. And then
right.
apparently it was a threat to I guess the record labels and the television Fox network that if they were to play that song, Drake would sue.
Mm,
So I guess he tried to play it like, oh, I'm gonna play it anyway,
mhm.
to kind of make Drake seem, he already looks weak for wanting to sue. Of course, we can all agree on that. But
Hmm.
I just feel like to me, I wouldn't want the whole thing to be about another nigga. Like, I'm not going to look at the camera and be like, hey, Drake, and smile. And then that's
For
the
sure.
meme that gets put across America. For like, they're not talking about your songs or your music like that. They're talking about the
Right.
symbolism and the disses and how,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, not
Hmm.
really your catalog, and you have a great catalog. You've been rapping
Hmm.
for 10 years just like Drake. So it's just like
Right.
if Drake would have got on that stage, maybe he would have performed a diss song, but guess what?
Mhm.
He wouldn't have had to because he has so many hits. So it's
Right.
just like this was your opportunity to me.
Right.
I do appreciate the symbolism. I thought it was really dope to see Serena come out. Um, that was cool,
Yeah.
but it was also just like a little slow. And then
Yeah.
for people who are above a certain age, they have
Hmm.
no idea about this Drake beef. They don't know what's going on. So
Hmm.
like I saw like because I was in a room with like some family and they were just like confused. Like they didn't know any of the
Yeah.
songs. It's
Yeah.
just like they couldn't really hear what he was saying when he was rapping, so they didn't get any of the like political jabs and the disses to Drake. Like they didn't get it. So it's just
Hmm.
like it was cool because it was
Right.
pro-black, and I'm always gonna rock with pro-black. But
For
I really
sure.
do feel like Kendrick just did himself a little disservice because he has a good catalog. He could have really just went through the hits.
Yeah. Well, and there is that review of that because that's more than I could because I'm not I don't listen to Drake. Like I
Yeah,
listen to Drake, but again I like Kendrick, but that's the extent that I can say I like
yeah.
Kendrick Drake,
Mm-hmm.
and then I move forward. But no, that's really good. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
But
I
shout
get
out
it.
to him though. This is his
Shout
year
out
for
to
sure. You know, he
for
won the
sure.
beef. He got 5 Grammys and he played
Hmm.
the Super Bowl. Like, you not topping this year. You know what I
Now I
mean?
did hear the Drake and what is it, Party Next Door album. I hear that's like really a good album that was dropped today or
I
yesterday or something like
love
that.
Party Next Door, so I definitely need to listen to it. And
Oh,
you know
you
I
hadn't
love
listened to it
Drake.
yet. Okay, okay,
Mm-mm.
okay.
Girl, I be
I
listening
hear
to
I hear people are
Elmo.
like going crazy about it. They're like, "Oh, this is a good album. This is a good album." I'm like, "Okay,
Okay, good. Because I really miss old Drake with Party Next Door because he used to be like a writer for Drake. So a
okay."
lot of Drake's slower songs
Mm-hmm.
are produced with Party Next Door because he's a
Oh,
R&B
nice.
singer. So
Okay,
this is the
okay.
Drake I like. I'm not really, I mean, I'll rock with the hard, the rapping Drake, but
Right.
I love soft Drake.
Right. Yeah. And a
R&B
lot of
Drizzy
people look to
Drake.
Drake for the captions. They're like, "Oh, I need to get my Instagram captions written down from the Drake album." Like people
Heartbreak
look,
Drake. He's known for
yeah,
that.
they
Like,
so
that's what he's known for, girl. But I've been slacking so much with like music and current events. Like, I listened
girl,
to
you got a
Elmo
baby.
album. I
You
listened
got
to
a whole
Elmo
baby. She has a whole what, 8-month-year-old, nine. How old is my
9 months
baby?
now.
9 months.
Crazy.
I can't even believe it. Okay, so Wendy Williams.
Oh, yeah.
So it's been reported that she has filed for her guardianship, conservatorship to be dispelled.
Mm,
And that also, though, that it came out
mm,
that son was responsible for not only putting her or having some sort of responsibility for her conservatorship, but
mm.
inappropriately using money and taking money out of her account. So I don't know if people remember a while back when Wells Fargo shut everything down,
Yep, I remember.
her accounts and all of that. Well, fast forward now, it's almost like we should be thanking Wells Fargo because there was a lot of inactivity. Apparently,
Hmm.
her son was spending $20,000 a month on like Uber Eats and, going to Miami and doing all these things. And Wells Fargo's like, no, like this isn't, so they locked her out of her accounts to
Hmm.
protect her money. And so, excuse me. So now in recent, reports and videos, I'm happy. And let me backtrack a little bit, but they're also
Wow.
saying that Wendy in that documentary, a lot of people saw it. It did not put her in a good light. Apparently she did not clear it. No, none of her team cleared it. Some people behind the scenes had cleared it, and it just made her look really, really bad. It made her look worse than she really was. Apparently, we don't know if she was on, like, we don't know. We just didn't know that Wendy. And
Yeah,
now
I didn't like that at all.
I
I
didn't
did
either. It made
not
me
like that.
uncomfortable. And then the Breakfast Club, she did an interview with the Breakfast Club where she was on audio with her and her niece. And
Hmm.
Wendy sounded like she was in her right mind. She was talking about Diddy. She was talking about all the things. And she
I
just
saw
seemed
that. Yeah.
weird, seemed so like, matter of fact, like she didn't seem fuzzy about anything. And so, there are reports saying that she's back to like her normal sense of state of mind. And so I'm hoping that in all of this, we get to
Mhm.
see Wendy back. Maybe not a full talk show. Maybe she does a podcast. Maybe she, but I do wish her well. I will say that.
Yeah, I wish her well too, and I hope she could at least start a podcast because it would just go viral. She ain't
Mhm.
gotta have a bunch of hands in her
Nope.
money, and
Nope.
she'll own it. And I know she's still in her right mind. Like I just know it because
Yeah.
her downfall happened too quick. I was like, there's no
Way too
way.
quick. She
There's no
fainted, and
way.
then
Now
next
she's
thing you
like,
know, she was like done.
I
Yeah.
mean, they made it seem like she was elderly overnight, like
Right.
100 years old. Like Wendy was just
No.
talking shit like 2 months ago, and now she's like,
Crazy.
I
Wild.
didn't like how that even played out. I think that documentary was done way too soon, and she should try to sue if she can. Shoot,
Yeah. I mean,
that's what
yeah.
I would do.
But so yeah,
This
I mean,
is kind
I
of,
like I
oh, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say I mean, I have so many things, but I'm like my mind is
Hmm.
so fuzzy.
Yeah, well, I wanted to talk since it is Valentine's Day. I want to talk a little bit about love or whatever in current events news. So I did see that Megan Good's ex, Devon Franklin, I think his name is,
Yeah,
the
I saw
pastor,
that. I did see
he is
that.
getting married. We know that Megan Good is engaged to Jonathan Majors. So I just feel like that is just so crazy that they were, together and then they divorced and it seemed to be amicable and we haven't heard no dirt or nothing about nobody,
Drama.
like
Yeah.
no
Apparently
drama.
they're still
And now
friends.
they're just
And
in
apparently they're
new
still like really
relationships.
good friends. Like they still not I don't know if they conversate like, hey, all that stuff, but apparently they like still are friends.
Girl,
Devon and Megan.
that's growth.
Unheard of.
That's God. Because
Peace.
that's
Peace.
peace. That's peace. Because I mean the fact they both are engaged now, it seems to be going well. Like
I saw
Megan
something,
Good said Jonathan Majors is like the
girl.
best man she's ever, yeah.
Been with. Like love of her life. Like she's
Hmm.
never felt a love like that ever. Happy for them, especially with all the turmoil around his case and all of the things. As long as people are happy, I'm happy for them. The one thing I
Yeah.
did find interesting about Megan and Jonathan was a while back, this was when Devon and Megan were married. They had, I
Mm.
don't know if it was a show or if it was a documentary or whatever. I can't remember what it was, but
Hmm.
he was basically complaining about how Megan doesn't cook and all these things. She's like, well, I've never cooked, like, but I make sure you got something to eat, things like that. So you could kind of just tell some things that were
Yeah.
important to him,
Yeah.
like she's still a star, she's still an actress, she still is very busy. And so you can't expect her to, and I don't know the previous conversations that were had. I'm just going off of what we see in the reality TV. But
Hmm.
you can kind of tell that he was yearning for more of like a woman who probably was more of like your homemaker, like catered to him, like home cooked meals, not every day,
Yeah.
but just like, and Megan is very much more of like she's definitely a working woman, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I also know that I think he wanted to have kids, but Megan was like she was okay with not having kids or something like that.
Hmm.
Well, there was an interview, a quick little interview that they did, Jonathan and Megan, on like a red carpet, and they were talking about stuff and they were like, well, what's the one thing you got the ring, you did it, like, what's the one thing you're like waiting on, like what, or something, it was something like that. And she was like, well, there's one more thing he can give me. Oh, that was what it was, because he was like, well, I already have everything out of her that I want, like she's perfect. And she was like, oh, thanks babe. She was like, well, I can think of one thing he still can give me. And they were like, what? And she looked at him, she's like, we're working on it. And
Oh,
everybody's like, is it a
maybe.
baby? But like I feel like it's a
Ooh,
baby.
child.
I feel like
That's
it's a
giving
baby.
me Jenny Mai and Jeezy teas. Lord, let's hope that's not how the relationship is.
Ah, I know.
Ooh, you know how that went.
It's
Like she didn't want
times,
to have kids, and then Jeezy came along, boop, pop one out. Then
girl.
that shit went downhill because I just saw she posted something, I guess, about she had to call the sheriff or the police
I
to
saw
get her
that this
stuff.
morning. I saw that
I
this
was like, if
morning.
she don't let this shit go, like
Girl.
just girl, just be like Tina Turner. I don't want nothing but my name.
My
I don't
thing is
want nothing but my
get your
name.
shit, go through it. If there's something missing, take it up with the court, have them go get like
Yeah,
what's
this
the
is telling me that you still want to be with this man in some way, shape, or form because when you're done, you're done. I don't care about that
done.
shit. That
I
shit,
don't care about. I'll buy some new shit
get somebody
at
to
this
pick it
point.
up or don't. Like, I don't want it. The
I
energy's
don't
not
even
good on it.
care.
You
I don't
know, like
care. I promise you I don't care.
the fact that
Um,
yeah,
yeah, like I don't care. So, yeah, so yeah, no, I mean, definitely, definitely I'm rooting for both of them. Hopefully they're happy, you know.
yeah. I also heard in other divorcee news that, we posted this on our page and went viral that Tia Mowry and her husband are reconciling. I don't know how true it is, but they definitely haven't denied it. And they were posted together in some pictures on that she put on her page. So I don't know
Everybody's
if it's just
that.
co-parenting or maybe they are really getting back together. You never
Who
know.
knows? She probably saw that there was pee in the dating pool, and
Girl.
she probably was like, you know what? I know what I got. It's worth giving another
Mm.
go. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that if in the event that they are willing to reconcile, that it works. And because Nene and Greg did it, and
Mm-hmm.
it worked until
I
death did
remember
them
that.
part.
Yeah.
And Oh, sometimes it works, and sometimes, you realize, oh, wait, that's the thing why we broke up. Like, yeah, no. So,
Yeah, it's hard to go
hopefully,
back to an ex, but you never know.
you never
Whew,
know. You
it's hard
never,
out here for a pimp.
you know,
Yeah, if he's not cheating on you, girl, or embarrassing you, at least I mean, maybe it's worth just going to therapy or something. Cause shit,
exactly.
I mean the
Right.
level of people just getting embarrassed and cheated on and humiliated on the internet is just getting out of control.
Wow. It's wild.
Um, you had just sent me that Nikki, what's her name, Nikki Baby or something.
Oh,
Um,
Miss Nikki Baby, yeah. She had what,
yeah.
two kids under like one, a 2-month old, and like a 1-year old or something like that. And
Girl, and we had some dialogue about it because I mean her man is young. I had no idea he was 24 years old. But
girl,
I mean he's gonna do what a young man's gonna do if you're not ready to be in that
a
situation. But
40-year-old is still gonna do it. So you can imagine a 23-year-old, 24. I
exactly.
mean,
I didn't know that,
and
but
when you met him, he was probably 20. Like,
and
what
I'm
do you,
sure she's 35 plus.
she was. She's like 35, 36, 34,
She
35,
gotta be.
36, something like that.
So
Something
you
like
can't be
that.
that delirious, but at the same time, I'm not gonna give him a pass because that is some low down shit that she just popped out his second baby, and I think the baby's like 2 months, and now he's with another girl, got her pregnant. He done left Miss Nikki Baby, and it's just like this is ridiculous. And I saw the other girl was online like talking shit, and I'm like, girl, you're gonna embarrass yourself because he gonna do you the same way.
Yeah.
Like I could
Yeah.
never.
Everybody's out here embarrassing people. I think people have to um
Take your life off the internet
take your life off the internet.
when shit goes left. Like we don't want to hear it,
I'm
really. We
tired.
got our
Well,
own
I'm just
shit.
tired of the same storyline. I'm tired of the basketball player and influencer or reality TV star that
Yeah,
cheat,
yeah.
left cheating, cheat. Like, okay, duh. Like, nobody deserves to get cheated on, but at the same time,
They're like the highest
at this
percentage of
point,
yeah.
I mean, at
Hmm.
this point, come on, So it's just like, can we talk about something else? Can we talk about,
Anything
Black
else?
can we talk about where there's resources? Like, can we talk about some other things besides who is cheating on who? Like, it's just
Hmm.
tired, it's old, it's
I
never
feel
gonna,
you.
it's been around forever. The same type of people that are typically higher ranked and most like, more to cheat than others are going to be your celebrities, your basketball stars, your NFL players, because that's what we see. Not all, but that's what we see. So more common. So risk, what is it? Date at your own risk at this point. And then if you're
Hmm.
dating people that are 15 years younger than you, especially from a woman who's older to a man who's younger, it's no secret that men mature much faster. No, men mature slower than women.
Yeah,
So, you
yeah.
know what I mean? It's just statistically,
It's
that's
tough.
just kind of how it goes. So you do kind of have to take responsibility in ways in which how you choose your partner and have a family with. Like that is not a small decision. And I think we are so quick to lay down with just everybody and want to have a baby, and we fall in love with the words that we hear and not necessarily the
Hmm.
actions that we see or some of the decisions
We
that
do.
we have put ourselves in. And then we want to cry wolf when it didn't turn out the way in the fairy tale. And it's like, well, did you see any sign? Were there any signs? Was there, you know what I mean? Was there anything that you could have done better? And it's like, I get it. Like I said, nobody's cheat proof, but at the same time, I
Hmm.
do feel like individuals have to take responsibility for their own choosings sometimes.
Got to.
You know what I mean? You
Got
do. You
to.
do have to say, okay, you know what? Maybe I do need to go for a mature man who might be in the background a little bit. He might cheat too, but the odds of that happening, I'm willing to take that risk versus the one where
Hmm.
it's just a greater chance, you know? Because these women
Girl.
are definitely throwing themselves at these men with lots of money, high profile, high, leadership roles, all the things. So
Yeah.
what I have to say about that. So God bless Miss Nikki. She comes from a lot of money. She'll be fine.
I
She's
heard
beautiful.
that. I don't know her
She comes
background,
from a
but
lot of money. I forgot her
okay.
story from back in Love and Hip Hop. I think she was on Love and Hip Hop. But I
Hmm.
remember she
Somebody
comes from
told me
like,
that.
yeah, she's good. Like she's not by any
Yeah.
means hurting. She probably has more money than her man did,
Yeah,
honestly.
financially, but just out of, maybe I'm just soft because I just had a baby too, but I know that to be left and you have a 2 month old and you got another kid, two kids under two, mm,
No, I'm just saying, like, she's
I
got
know
money
her
for
mental
like
health is,
nannies and help and chefs and maids. Like, of course, you want your partner to be there to help, but I'm just saying,
of
like,
course.
you
But
know,
but it's sad because the people who have all that money, they'd be the most miserable sometimes, mentally,
absolutely,
especially.
absolutely,
And so it's
absolutely,
just like, it sucks.
absolutely.
That sucks.
It sucks. I mean, it sucks when you're a single woman and you have no money and you're trying to figure it out, and and then
That
it
sucks
sucks when
even
you
more.
have money and you're trying to. Yeah, it sucks a lot more because the
It
resource.
sucks a lot more.
It does. I mean, you
Because
definitely need
you can
money
be
to have a
sad with the
baby.
nanny. At least you could be sad with the nanny and the maid.
And I think people don't like to talk about that. They like to glorify, like, oh, well, I mean, I raised 4 kids on, $20,000 a year. It's like, good for you. But if you want to raise a child and put them in the best possible position, it's nice to have money. And whatever that
Mhm.
dollar amount looks to you, you know what I'm saying? But it's nice when it makes things easier. When because money provides options, money provides freedom. Um,
Mhm.
and so for a lot of, single parents and single women, they don't have the resources and they still make it work, you
Got
know?
to.
They do. They find a way. So,
Got to. Yep. So one last thing before we wrap up, since it's the Valentine's episode, we're going with that theme right now to end the show. I
yes.
did see a post earlier today from DC Young Fly that went viral
Mm-hmm.
on Shade Room.
Mm-hmm.
And as y'all know, he lost his girlfriend and the mother of three of his kids,
Yeah.
Jackie O, like I think it was like last year, maybe a year before last. And he put a post to her. He was like, "My baby, I miss you so much. Forever. You're forever my Valentine. Love, 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 love on the ones. Show them you appreciate them. Go on dates, have some me time, keep God in the center, trust your relationship, whatever." So very heartfelt, very sad. Like I used to follow her on YouTube, so I'm really just I can't believe she really passed away. But I just have to say I did follow her and I did follow him before she passed away. And this man never posted this girl on his page. Like
I
I'm just
remember.
like before she passed away, I don't care if it was Valentine's Day, Christmas pictures, whatever. He would post the kids and not post her. And then if you go to her page, she would
You would
post
post him.
them, all of them. And now I'm not saying the feelings aren't real if you don't get posted or whatever, but what I am saying is that don't wait until somebody's gone now to glorify them and post them all over your page and that's your baby because you know she wanted that when she was alive because she was doing it
Exactly.
for you. And I'm not a big poster and let me show, but if my man does it for me, I'm going to do it in return if just to make him feel appreciated. You know what I mean? And the fact she was doing it and she had three of your kids and you didn't
Sure.
propose to her after 10 years and now it's just like, oh, my baby, my forever Valentine. It's just like, it just pisses me off because I'm like, I know you're grieving and everything. I'm not trying to be negative, but at the same time, it's just like that girl deserved more from you when she was here. And
Right.
I hope he admits that as well to lead men to think, hey, you don't have all the time in the world to do the right thing
Mm-hmm.
with your girl. Like, do that
Mm-hmm.
shit now,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So I don't know. That just stood out to me. I was just like, ugh.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad. I get it. It was a beautiful post. I'm like, I know she wanted you to do that when y'all were, when y'all were together, alive, well, healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
just pissing me
Yeah,
off.
no, I think that a lot of men have that same notion where if it's just when it's too late, not you could still be living and a woman can be like, put up with so much and then the one time she's like, I'm for real done and she's actually done. Now you want to get
Mhm.
right, you want to propose, you want to take her down the aisle, you want to do all the things that she said that she was gonna leave you for, and complaining about while she was in the thing. But then when she finally is done or when she's dead or whatever, now you want to do right and you want to get right and you want to do all the things. It's
Mhm.
something about that's why people say like when you have a non-negotiable with whatever that looks like, you have to stand firm on that non-negotiable. It means
Yeah.
it cannot be negotiated because people will use that and they'll say, "Oh, well, she ain't going nowhere," or "That don't matter. I hear what she's saying," but da 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 da, and that's when the longevity happens where you find yourself like, "Damn, for all these years, he ain't
Mhm.
never da 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 da." And I think, and I've been okay with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't always have to be all these years. You never have to get to all these years.
All these
If
years,
a
like,
person has you fucked up in year one and you like, no, I'm not rocking with that, leave year one. It don't always have to
yeah.
be proving your loyalty, to show like you're the down ass, girl, down ride or die or whatever that looks like. Um, know your worth. And I just feel like personally, would Jackie have loved to have him post her more? Sure, but I also feel like from videos that I've seen of her and all the things, like she just was such a cool, laid back spirit that she was just like, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, whatever.
Yeah.
I think she would have loved it, but I think that she also was just like, you know what? It is what it is. I know what it is behind the scenes, but we see it as, damn, now you're doing all this. Like, and I'm sure, but
Yeah. Well, there are videos out there where, fans have hinted at them like being engaged, and she was just like, yeah, like, are you gonna promote? Like, so I know it was something at least
exactly.
a
No,
deeper
that's what I'm saying.
level
They
that
just
she
had bought a
wanted,
house.
but
What was really sad was they had just bought a house a month, I think it was a month before she died. A
so
month before she
sad.
died, and she had never purchased a home. Of like, this was her first house, and she was so excited about it. Like she was walking her, I think, with the dog, or at least pushing the babies around the neighborhood, and she was like, look at God, look at what he's done. Like, this is such a blessing. I'm walking and pushing my strollers in my neighborhood, da 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 da. It was like a full circle moment for her. um that I don't know if a ring was going to come shortly after that or not, but you could tell she was like so at peace with the way in which her life was moving.
Hmm.
In terms of like gradually elevating, you know what I mean? It just sucks that she didn't get to move to that next. And of course, what do men do? Oh, my wifey.
Hmm.
Make me one.
Take away the why.
Make me a wife. Make
Why
me,
is there
don't
a
call
why?
me, that's my wifey now that I'm dead, or now that I'm gone, that was wifey, or that was my wife. No, I'm not your wife. You should have made me one.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
we glorify that. We're like, girl, he said, I'm his wife. I'm his wife.
I hate that. Like, I hate when
I
people
know.
like
So,
we did not mention this either, but like I don't know if you've been seeing Rihanna going to court for ASAP Rocky's
mm-mm.
trial because he apparently shot a gun or something to somebody. I don't know. He could serve up to 10 or 20 years, whatever. But
Oh my
anyway,
God.
Rihanna's been going to trial every day. The paparazzi has been capturing her. She's been all over the blogs. And people in the comments was like, you know what? Because she brought her kids to the court case yesterday, and they were like, she's bringing her children to see her to support her husband to show the judge that she needs her husband. And it had like 1,000 likes, and people were like, that's not her husband. Like, stop saying this shit. Like, just because they're together and they have kids, like, no, if you want to be a husband, he would be a husband. Like, let's
Exactly.
not turn something into something it's not, because that is confusion, and then you think that you're getting something that you're really not getting.
Right.
Now I'm not saying that maybe Rihanna don't want to marry him for financial reasons. Shit, we don't know. But at the end of the day, like, let's just not call something what it isn't. 'Cause
Exactly.
that's when people are striving to be like, oh, I want to be wifed up, but you're not really being a wife. So it's just funny.
I agree. I totally agree. I totally agree.
Hmm.
I totally agree. So,
So
you know,
as the world turns, this
as the world
is
turns,
Valentine's Day
edition
2025.
2025, we've been super consistent with episodes though.
Girl,
Oh,
yeah.
one last thing before we hop off. Rest in peace, Irv Gotti.
Oh, yeah. I
Um,
wanted to talk about that too.
yeah, rest in peace, Irv Gotti. Like a whole era just gone. Like he gave us a lot of hits, a lot of hits, a lot of hits, a lot of hits, a lot of hits. I feel like that whole era was just a feel good era.
Hmm.
Like, it reminds me of my teens, my high school years. And when things were just like, and they just don't make that kind of music. I get it, like, because I'm sure our parents were like, oh, they don't make the kind of music like they used to back when I was growing up for our generation.
Hmm.
But truly, I feel like this generation, we don't have that say, it's just different. I'll just say that it's just different. But man, rest in peace to an icon. Irv, you
Girl,
did
that was
a
a whole
lot.
error. Whole
You did
error.
an amazing, what you left in your
Yeah.
legacy and all the things. People can say what they want
Yeah.
to say, but specifically for your
Yeah.
work and contributions to the music industry, shout out to his kids, shout out to his ex-wife Deb.
Yeah.
Um,
And he's pretty young. Like, he's only
he's
50.
54, 54.
Yeah. Like, that's just so tragic. I didn't even know he had health issues. Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. He had diabetes.
Yeah,
Um,
I hate that his last like time he was like in the scene was when he was talking about that Ashanti stuff. So,
I
but
know. I know.
people been
But
bringing that up, and I'm just
I'm glad
like,
she made a post.
yeah, she was
And
very cordial, very
yeah.
poised. It was sweet. Like, she just being the bigger person. Like, she just strikes me as somebody who's be the bigger person anyway. So,
And like I said, he put her like he is no say what you want. There's no denying that he had a whole hand in her career.
oh,
It's
he did.
unfortunate. It's
Yeah.
unfortunate that, men in that industry will manipulate
Hmm.
things to try to have control and all things. But, that is that the Shanti the vibes, the essence of her is definitely Murder Inc. And so it was just such a good era. It was a good era. It was a good time. Great memories. So yeah, so this was a great episode. I'm so
Yes, it
excited that we were able to
was.
pop on here. And we will see you guys on the next one.
Yep. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.